Hey, you did it. You found it. You found the podcast version of the show. It's Writer Radio. Here are the things you need to know. We stream live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time at writerradio.com. 2, you can find every episode on YouTube, youtube.com/@writerradio. We're on Spotify, same name, Writer Radio. We are on Twitter or X @BradWriter, BradRiter. We're on Instagram @Writer Radio. There's a group now, Writer Radio Facebook group. Go there, find that, follow that, like it, whatever you have to do. We've got a phone number. You can send texts, leave voicemail, 716-288-5246. Email, bradwriter@gmail.com. You don't need to memorize this. It can all be found at writerradio.com. That's the hub. But those are the places. Thanks for listening. Please tell a friend. Please share. That's how we grow. Glad to have you on board to the podcast version of Writer Radio. This could really go anywhere today. It's episode 165 of Writer Radio. And, there are days when I've got like 3 things I definitely want to hit on. Then there are days like today where I'm jammed, and then I think, okay, this is where the show's going to go. And then, 45 minutes ago, something else happens. I'm like, oh, wait, no, that needs to be the main thing that we do. And then something else happens. And then 10 minutes before the show is about to start, my wife comes down the stairs and she goes, I have COVID. I was like, what? They still make that? Now, I knew that they still made it because I heard recently that John Popper from Blues Traveler canceled the show due to COVID, and the other singers from the other bands were going to fill in, and Blues Traveler was still going to play, but they weren't going to headline it anymore. They were going to play in the middle, and the other band, and I thought, well, that's a really nice way to do it, and boy, have we evolved since 5 years ago when we all dressed like Outbreak, like we're like Ebola style thing, and now it's just like, all right, so what do we do? I don't even remember what we do. My wife's been complaining of feeling sick the last couple days, but it's nothing crazy. Just sort of, kind of got a headache, kind of got a cold. But then she had some weird stuff where she woke up and she's like, my face hurts. And I started singing the Weeknd song. I can't feel my face when I'm with you. I didn't really start singing it, but I did hear that song recently, and I forgot that I kind of like that guy. I like that guy's voice. He's pretty cool. But I recognize it's, 5 years removed. We used to be super good at this. We're like, all right, lock it down. I don't remember. What would we do? Put tape over her mouth and lock her in a closet for 10 days or something like that. But we're so beyond that now. Now we're evolved in 2025, and now COVID's not scary. But I will say this, too. I forgot all about this back when we were afraid of this thing. And not to downplay it, it did massive damage. Don't get me wrong. It's just that I had it, and it just meant I sat in the basement for a week. And my wife had it, and she just sat in the bedroom for a week. And my son had it, and he sat in his bedroom for a week. And 5 years removed, we're better. This is not to, downplay what it was like at the beginning when there was full-on panic. But what I'm being reminded of is we went from full-on panic to like, I don't know if those vaccines even work, and that and now it's like I don't remember what we do. I remember we made fun of people for trying to treat it with things that weren't authorized by the government. I don't remember. I don't know if it's just that I've lost faith in all information that I receive at all times. But like at the start of COVID, we did what we were told, even when it seemed stupid. The mask thing, like masks on a plane, but taking it down to eat on a plane, like all that stuff seemed dumb. But now, like, what do you do practically when you live in a house with 4 other people and one of them goes, I just tested positive for COVID? I'll tell you one thing that happens. Within 3 minutes of hearing that, I suddenly feel symptoms that I didn't feel until she put it in my head that COVID lives in my house again. But I didn't... just all of a sudden, I went outside to get something 15 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, something like that. Went outside, and in the driveway, I was just grabbing the baseball scorebook from the truck because I have to make a lineup because we have a game tonight. 2 games tonight, actually. And I went to grab that, and while I was out there, I coughed. Just like this, though. And then I went, oh, no, is that COVID? And then suddenly, I'm like, wait, is that congestion in my chest? Wait, does my voice sound right? Can I taste things? She said she can't taste anything. She's got that strain of it, the no taste thing. Is that a headache? I don't really get headaches. What? All of a sudden, I feel all these things. I'm like, I probably have it. But I don't. The psychosomatic, the right word I'm looking for here. Now I want to see if that's the word. I like that word. I know it from the Prodigy song Firestarter. Right? Is that right? I know that word from? Let me see. Psychosomatic definition. A physical illness, symptom, or disorder that is notably influenced or caused by psychological factors like stress, anxiety, or depression. I would think that this would fit. I don't feel I have a ton of stress, anxiety, or depression. I just heard that this disease is in my house again and suddenly went, oh no, I think I have it now. I don't have it now. I think we're fine. But honestly, I don't know what we're supposed to do. So the kids are at school and they'll be back. I got to go to Kent State in the morning. So I think I leave my 3 kids home with my COVID wife and then just go watch football and eat donuts with my friends and then come back and act like I'm a real man. Is that the plan? And I'll come back to save whatever's left. I don't know. I'm going to the football game. We agreed on that. She's like, I've been sick for 4 days. It's the same thing. Keep the kids away from me. It'll be fine. So the only thing in jeopardy now is that Drew was supposed to play in a baseball game tomorrow. She's not going to go. We've got 2 games tonight. I'll just take the 2 kids. We'll be fine. Zach never goes to baseball anyway. He doesn't like it. So wife and oldest stay home. I take the 2. We get back at like 10:30. I go to bed because I got to leave at 6 in the morning. I go to Kent. But Drew was supposed to play in a game at 4, but she's not going to go to baseball because you can't just wander around in public when you know that you've got COVID, right? So now we got to figure that out. We got to figure out that aspect of the whole thing. But I think I'm doing it right. Feel free to give me advice in the chat. I think I'm doing it right in that I'm just going to kind of steer clear of her and mostly ignore it and treat it as though none of us are sick. We're not doing contact tracing. We're not being called by the county to tell us that we were at we were in a classroom with a kid who may have, like, all that stuff that was going on. Remember all those emails? Those emails and letters in the mail and phone calls? We're not doing that, right? We're just accepting that COVID is just sick now, right? You couldn't back then say it's just the flu or it's just a cold because it wasn't just those things. But at this point, it's just those things, right? I think. I don't know. I'm asking because I haven't thought about COVID in 4 years. But here it is. It's back. It's back in my house. So that's not cool. All right, new thing on Writer Radio. I'm trying something today. In an effort to grow the podcast, make this show into this massive thing. As I look around the landscape of podcasts throughout the world, throughout America, I don't think I listen to any foreign podcasts. If I liked hockey, like the Sabres were good enough, then maybe I'd, tune into some kind of hockey thing. But other than that, I'm not. Oh, no, I listen to Tragically Hip Top 40 Countdown. That's coming out of Toronto. So, all right. I listen to international podcasts. In the international world of podcasting, the one market I feel that hasn't really been cornered with like a big thing is trivia. Like there's not a podcast game show, and there should be. I've wanted to be a game show host my entire life. I remember having conversations at WBEN before WGR became a sports station about my idea for a radio game show. And at the time, they're like, hold off on that, because I didn't know we were about to change formats. Like, I'm plotting this whole massive takeover of the world with a game show. I'm like, don't. Because in 2 weeks, we're switching formats and moving everybody around anyway. Because that's how radio works. There's just a lot of decisions that are made, and things just happen. Boom. Station changes. So that's like 1999 that I was thinking about, there should be a radio game show. And now there should be a podcast game show. And I've got some ideas, but I'm just trying to test something right now. So what I did is I put up a link in the chat. And I'll just say it out loud in case you're not looking at the chat. It's pretty easy. You're going to crowd.live. And then there's a code, a 5-letter code. So it's crowd.live/MZSHX. Crowd.live/MZSHX. This is not a real contest. This is a test. But what I'm doing, I put a 10 question trivia game online. It's just a quick thing. It's all about famous cover songs. All right, so there's 10 of them, and there's a question, and there's a picture, and then you answer it, and the faster you answer it, the better. So I don't want you to have the time to look it up, or if you do look it up, I want it to waste your time. But you get like 15 seconds to answer each one. There's 10 questions, and then there's a scoreboard. So I've got it open right now, starting at 10:15, which is a minute from now. So if you go there, you can get in, and at any point, here's the way the plan will work. If I get this up and running, what I'm thinking we'll do, whether we do it every day or every Friday or whatever it is, it'll be a thing where the show starts and I say, hey, we've got a live trivia quiz going. So you go to that spot, you do the trivia quiz online, you don't get results, and then at the end of the show, I'll go through the questions and the answers and reveal them and talk about that stuff. But it'll be like you can play online quietly, and then it just sits there. And then the thing closes online, and then we review it at the end of the show. I think it's a good idea. It'll be a better idea when I know that it all works. But like right now, let's see if this thing went live yet. Okay, this says it starts, I guess it goes live at 10. This says it starts in 9 minutes and 15 seconds. I accept that. All right, yeah, I've got a countdown going that it is going to open up in 9 minutes. So yeah, if you go to this, if you're in the chat, just look up. I typed it in there right at the top of today, 18 minutes ago. But it's a link to, or I'm going to repost it. I'm going to put it in the link again, or put the link in the chat again. And I just like some people to go test it out. I just want to see if it works. You can do this in the background while listening to the show and hanging out. All right, so we're trying a new thing with the trivia thing. I hope just even a handful of you go check it out because I want to see that it works. I want to see what problems there are, and I want to work it out before we turn it into a thing where, yeah, there's a prize and there's a sponsor and you can become the champion, and we'll do a live show that revolves around it, and it'll be out at a location. Before we get to all that, I just want to make sure the software is working the way that I want it to. So we're going to try it. And this is not even, I just grabbed this quiz off of a website. Like it's not even, I've written thousands and thousands of trivia questions, and these are not mine. These are just ones that I use to throw in there as an experiment. So you're just work with me. We're building this thing. Anybody who's been on board for the first 165 episodes understands that we're just going up and up and up. So we've got that. What else? I watched the Charlie Sheen movie last night, which I recommend. I don't want to dig too far into it. I looked yesterday. I knew it was coming, and I knew I'd watch it. It's long. It's a 2-part thing. I don't think it's quite to the Billy Joel length, but it was probably close to 4 hours. And I'm not going to say it's like must see, but I certainly want my friends to see it because I would like to discuss it with them. I learned something from Charlie Sheen. I woke up this morning and the first thing I thought of is don't be like Charlie Sheen. So that's pretty good, right? It's a cautionary tale. If you watch this, it's called AKA Charlie Sheen. It's the Charlie Sheen documentary, AKA Charlie Sheen. So that's the title. It's like, it's hard to explain, isn't it? That's the name of it. AKA is in the name. It's the whole thing. AKA Charlie Sheen. It's on Netflix. And when I turned on Netflix last night, it showed it was the #1 movie at the time. So I was like, all right, I'm in. I already knew it was coming. And I find him interesting. His whole, when he went nuts, like he's always been a wild man. But when he went like loco, that was right around the time we were on WEC. Scott and I were on WEC. So we spent a lot of time talking about the winning, like all that stuff. Remember that? Yeah. And it was because he had tiger blood and like everything he said was crazy. Remember he was a warlock for a while. All of that gets explained very simply. Occam's razor, simplest explanation, right? If you watch the movie, you're like, oh, now I understand. So it's not like massive revelations are in there. Although I do think they, at some point, real quickly, and I was like, it's a long movie, and I'm kind of doing other things at the time, so I'm not 100% locked in. But I'm pretty sure they just glossed over the fact that at some point he shot Kelly Preston. And that was very brief. They just never went back to it and explained exactly, unless I missed it. But at some point he shot the late Kelly Preston. She was John Travolta's wife. She was gorgeous, great, as perfect a face you could put on a screen to look at. Never really had like a massive career, but at some point was shot by Charlie Sheen, it seems. The reason I thought of Charlie Sheen when I woke up this morning is that Charlie and I have a lot in common. Both of our fathers were in Apocalypse Now. Both of us were on the set for Apocalypse. I'm just making that part up. No, his father, my dad was not in Apocalypse Now. But the thing that Charlie and I have in common is trouble with alarm clocks. And he was talking about, it was a movie. I want to say Rush Hour, but it's not Rush Hour. Money Train, something with, it's him and Chris Tucker, right? So him and Chris Tucker in this movie, and they've got a super early shoot or something, and he talks about how he knew he had to be there at whatever it was, he had like a 6 o'clock call time, so he had to get up at 4 o'clock or 4:30, and the alarm went off, and he's like, okay, cool. He said he was no drinking, no drugs, no nothing the night before, just late night. I might be combining stories, but he was supposed to be exhausted in this. I might be combining it with the Ferris Bueller story, but he thought it was best to stay up. And that I am combining stories. It doesn't matter. He had to get up super early, set an alarm, and looked at it and went, I'm going to hit snooze for 10 more minutes. And then did not wake up for another hour and a half. And then they were looking for him, and they can't find all this stuff. But the first thing I thought of this morning, because my inclination is to hit the snooze button when the alarm goes off, my first inclination was to hit it, and then I was like, no, because you hit it, you try to get 10 minutes. Next thing you know, you're Charlie Sheen, and it's an hour and a half later, and now you're late for the thing you're trying to do. I didn't hit snooze. Thank you, Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen made me a better person today. So I appreciate that out of him. No snooze button. Thanks, Charlie. All right, is the trivia thing? No, it's still 3 minutes away. All right, so 3 minutes from now, we'll know if this thing is up and running. Please try it. The link is in the chat, or just go to crowd.live/MZSHX. I know that's difficult. That's tricky. We don't want to do it that way. Eventually, I want this all to be at writerradio.com. We're getting there. One-man band. Although, a lot of input lately. A lot of people reaching out saying, hey, I have an idea. Hey, I'd like to meet with you. Part of this is because we've got a sponsor. Brian Janik from the Financial Guys, 20 years in the business as an insurance consultant. And if you get in touch with him, he helps you and you never have to pay him. So it's like the perfect deal. Plus, he's my friend. Plus, he was giving out hot dogs at cruise night yesterday. I mean, this is a good dude. You want to be around him. But the relationship we started just this week, just started talking about our first official sponsor, which is Brian Janik from the Financial Guys and thefinancialguys.com. And suddenly people are like, oh, you can do that? I'd like to talk to you about talking about my business on the show. Like, it's working. Little baby steps. It's working. That's what we're looking for. So thank you again to Brian Janik of the Financial Guys and everyone who's been reaching out saying, how do I get in on that? And I've got an idea. And can you come do the show at my place? Like, this stuff is happening now. Progress. A little bit at a time. You know, it helps that we're into football season now, too. I think the numbers have shown it in people listening now. I don't intend to do a strict football show. It's not a sports show. But I'm watching sports, and I live in Buffalo. The Bills are good, and Josh Allen's the story always. And I broadcast UB football. And all my friends are football people. So there's a lot of football to this. And, yeah, it was a pretty good game to start things off on Sunday night. So I think that helped really anybody who's in the business of talking to you from Buffalo, New York. It helps when the Bills are good and interesting. And they were very good this past week. Or very interesting anyway. You know, the defense wasn't necessarily great. But you got a game of the year type of game to open things up. And that, I think, makes people a little bit more inclined to wake up and go, wonder who's talking about Josh Allen right now. Because I'd love to hear somebody talk about Josh Allen. So we get that. Pretty cool. All right. Scott Wilson's going to be on at 11 o'clock. I'm not sure where we will begin our conversation, but I have a feeling that donuts will come up. We are less than 24 hours away from the great Krispy Kreme Challenge of Ohio, the Great Ohio Krispy Kreme Challenge of 2025. I don't know what we're calling it. After a miserable performance in the Pistachio Challenge in Minneapolis, I am taking on a new challenge. I did not, like I said, I've always wanted to be a talk show host, a game show host. Already a talk show host, and I was like, now I'd like to host game shows. At no point did I think I'd like to compete in any sort of eating contest. Competitive eating, not my thing at all. I don't like competitive drinking either. Like even college, like drinking games, never my favorite thing. Oh, let's play beer pong. No, you play beer pong. I'll have a beer. I'll watch you play your game. I'm over here. I'm fine. All right, the trivia thing is working. It's working. I've got the quiz on my screen. It's asking me to answer questions. I'm not going to play. Well, I'll answer something incorrectly just so we get some stats in here. Here we go. Oh, that's the wrong answer. I want to see how it works, too. So bear with me. Right now, it's got question 2 up on the screen. There are 4 names in the thing, one of whom is me. I don't want to give anything away, but right now, which legendary country singer created a stripped-down cover of the Nine Inch Nails song Hurt in 2002? And I will incorrectly say Tim McGraw. We're just testing it out today. All right, I don't need this thing on my screen right now. I know that it's working. I can go to a different page so I don't have flashing, shiny things right in front of me. Have you seen, while we're on the Bills a little bit, you see the Bills got a new punter? We got to pronounce it like Marcel the referee. I keep forgetting. Marcel Kerr. Marcel Kerr was our referee at the Kent State game, or excuse me, at the St. Francis game, UB against St. Francis last week. And he was very into enunciation. Operator. So the Bills signed a punter named Cameron Johnston. And even without the social media like clips and pictures and jokes, you just see a picture of him, and it's like the Bills signed Bill Burr to be their punter. Bill Burr, stand-up comic, actor, funny, bald, red beard, red scruff, whatever. What didn't occur to me is how you could do a direct link between Sean McDermott and Bill Burr and this punter who looks exactly like Bill Burr, but kind of like Sean McDermott. Found a quote where Bill Burr is like, yeah, I've seen that guy. It's crazy. He looks exactly like me. I had that happen in high school. I've told this story fairly recently, but I'll tell it again. I had it happen in high school where I played basketball, and we had, for whatever reason, we had a Friday night where we didn't have a game. And so as a team, we went and watched another game. I don't remember the 2 opponents. I'm going to guess it was Frontier against Hamburg. Whoever it was like two opponents from our division. We're off. We're playing them in a couple weeks. Let's go watch them, and I don't know, something to do. What else are you going to do? I'm used to playing basketball on Friday nights. We'll go watch it. And we walk into the gym, and there's this dude from Hamburg who looked exactly like me. Like, exactly like me. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I'm not saying he was the weirdest looking. Don't put that on me. That's not what I meant. But it was absolutely bizarre to do like the Spider-Man pointing at people meme thing. It was the same guy. It was me, except in purple. And I've never met that guy. I've never followed up with him. I don't know. I mean, he might still be here. He might be dead. He might be in great shape. He might have a big, fat, 50-year-old face like me. I don't know. But there was a doppelganger type of dude playing basketball in Hamburg in 1992 or 1. And I can totally get what Bill Burr sees when he looks at this guy. Especially, like, there's a squinty face one. It's Cameron Johnston, who's an Aussie, by the way. Oi, oi, oi. There's one where he's in a Steelers jersey from last year, and he's squinting because of the sun or something, and he looks absolutely, exactly like Bill Burr, or certainly like Bill Burr's younger brother, or however you want to put it. But if you haven't had a chance to see this, just check out the face of the new punter, and you'll probably end up seeing the face of Sean McDermott and the face of Bill Burr as well. It's pretty interesting. It's fun. But I didn't need social media to tell me that guy looks exactly like Bill Burr. The Bills signing a punter after one game. So they had Brad Robbins, which I was a little uncomfortable with there being another Brad R in town. So I didn't need this guy around. But the headline here, Syracuse.com, this is Ryan Talbot. The headline is, Buffalo Bills wasted no time replacing punter who had the worst EPA metrics in NFL last weekend. All right. I don't even know what that is. EPA is estimated points something. I mean, I could pretend to know. It's just, I don't know. If I hear your EPA is good, that's cool. If I hear it's bad, that's fine. But I mean, it was one game. And I don't remember a lot of punting. But Robbins apparently was the NFL's worst punter on opening weekend. And the Bills are like, all right, well, then he's got to go. And I'm not saying you should use EPA by punters as a reason to make a decision one game into the season. But I will say that if the Bills, one game in, have already cut and replaced their punter, that they have decided they're having that kind of season. Like, oh, it's going to be that kind of year. It's the kind of year where if you don't punt perfectly well in a 42 or 41-40 victory over one of the top teams in the AFC, you're not going to be on the team anymore because we don't have time for any of this. We're fixing everything always. And while walking away from that game, thinking about things that bother me and worry me moving forward, punter did not cross my mind. I do appreciate having, I don't know, an active mind with regard to the roster and thinking of things like that. I'm going to look at the box score because was it awful? Box score, Bills, Ravens. And then I want to see, you can never get to the good box score right away. It always tries to give you some weird Google one that's not going to work. All right, box score. Where's individual stats? This is individual. All right, let's see how did we punt? I don't remember punting being a thing. He punted 4 times, one of them inside the 20, averaged 39.5 yards. It sounds like punting. I don't know. It doesn't long of 48. That sounds fine. He's gone. I guess it doesn't sound fine. You look at this other guy, Jordan Stout from Baltimore, 3 punts. He averaged almost 51 yards and had a long of 59. 1 touchback, 1 inside the 20. All right, maybe Brad Robbins stunk. Maybe this chart's right. I'm sure there's something to the numbers there. But my point is not good. That guy's got to go. Cameron Johnston's way better. I definitely need a punter who looks like Bill Burr. It's not that. It's, everyone needs to be on alert. And it's not everyone. It's not Josh. Josh can have a bad game. He'll still be back. It's not what I mean. But if you're fringe, if you're border, like a borderline, maybe you should be on the team, maybe you shouldn't be on the team, you better deliver. Because they cut the punter after 1 week. And he was fine. And maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was awful and I just didn't notice because I was too busy worrying about not tackling Derrick Henry. And when the punter comes out, I've watched, as far as like percentage of plays that I've watched that I've paid attention to, punts are probably in last place when my team is punting. If the team I'm rooting for is punting, the punt occurs during my disappointment of what just happened on 3rd down. So, I don't know. The punt happens and then it's a commercial break. The drive has stopped already. So, especially watching a game on TV, especially a Sunday night game, if the Bills don't convert a 3rd down and the punter comes out onto the field, my brain checks out because it's going to be punt, probably not much of a return, commercial, see you in 4 minutes. And so my brain checks out, so I don't have a strong opinion. But I like that self-evaluation is important to the team. You know, they always say they're doing it, but there's proof that that's a different type of year. I get, your kicker misses twice on opening day and you replace him. Okay. But punter, you've given up already when you decide to punt. And I guess I just didn't notice that this guy didn't give up well enough. But I do enjoy that the new punter looks like a kind of jacked up Aussie Bill Burr / Sean McDermott. That's fun. All right, I'm going to play a song and be right back. Scott Wilson's going to join me just after 11 or right around 11, at 11. Whenever I call him, sometime near 11. We got a lot to get to. There's COVID back in my house. We've got a live quiz going at crowd.live. If you go into the MixLR app in the chat, where a bunch of you hang out anyway, click on that link and go test out this thing. I want to see how it works. We'll reveal the answers at the end. It's not like the greatest quiz, but the quiz can be like, we could do a Monday quiz, for example, just about the Bills game, right? So you log in, you're listening to the show, but you also get to play this little game on your phone. It's got 10 questions. It's fast. And then at the end, we talk about the things that were in the quiz. We reveal the answers. If we have a sponsor, we've got a prize to give away. If we want to have like running totals, we can have like a cumulative, try to, first person to 1,000 points win something. There's a lot of options. But today it's just a test run for this thing. So if you're in the chat, look for that link, the crowd link, crowd.live link, and that'll take you to this quick quiz that you take. And we're just messing around. It's a trial run, and I appreciate you being here to help out with all the things I test out on this 165 episode experiment that is known as Writer Radio. This episode is brought to you by...
Hey, me fellas, look here. Seagulls, golden wine cooler, seagulls, golden wine cooler, it's wet and it's dry, golden wine cooler, my, golden wine cooler, me and the boys, love all the time, golden wine cooler, it's wet and it's dry, golden wine cooler.
Hello, Fukada-san here with very interesting cooking tip. Did you know real lemon made from real fresh lemons? Oh yes, real lemon tastes just like real fresh lemons. Very good, very easy to use. You can use real lemon wherever you use fresh lemons. In cooking and baking, or many places. Can even use to make nice lemon pie. That's lemon. Yes, lemon. Try real lemon wherever you use fresh lemons.
Living rooms, bedrooms, dinettes. Oh yeah, you can find them at the market. We talking about flea market, Montgomery. It's just like a mini mall. Oh yeah, come shop with us. I said flea market, Montgomery. It's just like a mini mall. Hey hey, living rooms, bedrooms, dinettes. We got it. It's just like a mini mall.
Any other putter but a putter's gonna put it in a puddle up. But a putter is a much better putter, 'cause putt makes it fun. So putt for the fun of it, putt for the fun of it. So bring a date and your brother or your mate and your mother and putt a hole in one. Putt makes it fun. So putt for the fun of it, putt for the fun of it, putt for the fun of it, putt for the fun of it.
Just let your soul glow. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul glow, baby. Feeling oh so silky smooth. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul glow. Soul glow.
Thank you to all of our fake sponsors from the 80s and 90s, and also to our real sponsor, Brian Janet from the Financial Guys, independent insurance advisor, consultant. He's been in the business for 20 plus years, and he helps you for free. Just get in touch with him through thefinancialguys.com, and he will help you navigate the world of insurance, especially if you're approaching 65 or you know somebody approaching 65, trying to figure out how to do the whole Medicare thing, what your options are. He's got you covered, so that's where you go. Financialguys.com, and look for Brian Janik. He is my favorite. He's my favorite because he's the first ever sponsor here at Writer Radio. Reading about COVID because I discovered just before the show started that my wife has COVID. And I forgot that was a thing, but it's still a thing. So what do you do? What do you do in 2025? What are the new recommendations? Because remember, it used to change constantly. We had no idea what was going on, and they just kept switching it on us, and you just kind of had to believe it. And then eventually people were like, I don't feel like believing it. And then we all argued, and then it became a political thing. It was, it was a strange time. It's been pretty strange. The last several years have been pretty strange. But I typed in COVID, now what? Like, what do you do now? Treatment, I guess, is the word I was looking for. So what's treatment? So this was, I made sure the date was fairly recent. It was from July 23rd or July 31st of this year. So, okay, this is the latest recommendation. This is from lung.org. So I don't know. I don't get a ton of my news and information from lung.org, but I'm going to trust them. I'm going to trust lung.org. All right, if you test positive for COVID-19, as she did, there are things you need to do to take care of yourself and help stop the spread of disease to others. Most individuals recover from COVID-19 at home, but it's important to know when you should seek further treatment. Yeah. All right. Big headline, taking care of yourself at home. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for us. Contact your healthcare provider. I bet she doesn't do that. Tell them you tested positive for COVID-19, and they're going to be like, yeah, so what? Right? Tell them you tested positive and you're home recovering. Based on your underlying health and symptoms, you may warrant and benefit from additional treatment that works best when started early. Ooh, that's an extra link. Additional treatment. What's that going to be? All right. The other recommendations, take it easy, rest up, and stay hydrated. Over-the-counter medications could help manage symptoms. I mean, COVID-19 now is just, I don't feel good, right? Because it's not the flu, and it's not a cold. So it's like, hey, why don't you stay away from some people and drink water and sleep? Yeah. It's like everything else. I don't feel good. All right, go to bed. It says monitor your symptoms, report worsening symptoms to your healthcare provider. If your symptoms progress to severe illness, call 911 and notify the responder that you... This is a lot of nothing. This is drink water, stay in bed. Warning signs are difficulty breathing, persistent pain or pressure in the chest, new confusion, inability to wake or stay awake. I think inability to wake is probably the worst symptom you can have, really, with anything. Right? He's not waking up. That's bad. Pale, gray, or blue-colored skin, lips, or nail beds. All right, I think we're in the clear on most of that stuff. Stopping the spread. Here we go. You know who I'd like to consult on stopping the spread? My kid who was in kindergarten in 2000. When he came home with all sorts of propaganda. Stop the spread. Don't share tissues. I don't know. I don't remember what they told him when he was 5, but I remember we got a lot of our advice from children who had no idea what was going on. Stopping the spread of COVID to others. If you have symptoms, regardless of vaccination status, you should stay home and away. Does the vax thing even, is that anything anymore? I came across my vaccination card recently. I had it in a lockbox. Don't want anybody stealing my cardboard thing. I had to drive to Syracuse to get somebody to stamp. All right. Regardless of vaccination status, like, am I considered vaccinated? If I got the 2 shots or whatever it was back then, and then haven't thought about it since, am I still good? All right. You should stay home and away from others to help prevent others from being sick. Yes, but what if when you stay home there are 4 other people here? So stay home unless you need medical care. Don't go to work or school. Avoid public places like stores. Stay away from others. In other words, if you live with other people, try to keep your distance by staying in one room and using a separate bathroom if you are able. Don't share hand towels, cups, or utensils. We tend to stay away from each other in this house anyway. We're fine. Wear a mask. Oh, no. If you need to be around other people within your home or when seeking medical care, wear a high-quality mask. I never thought of this before today, but have you considered how much more fun the duration of COVID would have been? We'd still be having fun 5 years later if instead of masks, instead of like the surgical masks and the N95 masks and whatever, it was just Halloween masks. Just wear a mask. Just go upstairs. My wife is a werewolf. Oh my God, she must have COVID. Go upstairs, she's a vampire. You go upstairs, she's Ronald McDonald. So much more fun than just like a blue surgical thing. Or a cloth one that my mom made. Werewolf face. How do you know somebody's got COVID? I don't know. Just walking down the street, seemingly keeping her distance from everyone, and she had on a Frankenstein mask. So I think she probably has COVID. Wash your hands. My wife loves washing her hands. After you cough or sneeze, and before you touch shared objects like door handles, make sure to wash your hands with soap and water. Every time you're going to touch a door handle, wash your hands with soap and water. And then afterward, too, probably. Call your close contacts. Letting others who could have been exposed know that you're sick allows them the opportunity to watch for symptoms and get tested. When can you return to usual activities? You can return when, for at least 24 hours, your symptoms are getting better and you're fever-free without meds. Take additional precautions for 5 days because you may still be able to spread COVID even when you're feeling better. These can include everyday prevention strategies, washing, sanitizing, covering coughs and sneezes, cleaning frequently touched surfaces. I'm doing this for all of us, but mostly for me. Because I just found out right before the show started that we've got COVID in the house again. Taking steps to clean the air indoors by opening doors and windows, using exhaust fans, portable air cleaner. Ooh, the CDC's home ventilation tool. Where do I get my hands on that? Wearing the most protective mask you can wear comfortably for extended periods of time that fits well. Okay. Maintain distance from others by avoiding crowded areas, and then testing. Test positive but don't have symptoms for the next 5 days. Take additional precautions. All right, so we're just kind of at nothing. We're kind of at you have a cold. I know that was an insult back then to compare COVID to a cold or the flu, but the way it's being treated now is treat it like you've got a cold or the flu. Try not to sneeze on your friends. Don't lick anyone else's ice cream cone. All right? It's kind of where we are. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm going to Kent State. I have to. Unless I wake up and... do I have to test now? Because, again, that psychosomatic thing, as soon as I heard my wife has COVID, suddenly I'm like, oh, I feel some congestion in my chest. It wasn't there until I heard this. Oh, there's like a little headache. Oh, I got this weird sort of sinusy thing between my eyes. It's kind of crampy. I didn't feel any of this until I heard the word COVID come out of my wife's mouth this morning at 9:50, an hour ago. And suddenly oh no. I guess I am a little cold and a little warm, and my throat hurts a little, and I am a little tired. I'm always tired. I'm sore. I'm always sore. I can't lug this body around and not be sore. So I'm going with I'm fine. Getting on with my life. All right, I've got 17 different things that are open on my screen, and Scott Wilson's about to be on, and I'm planning on revealing all the trivia answers at the end of the show. So if I don't do these, and it's Friday, so I'm just going to do the thing where I click through what's on the screen and close out windows, close out tabs. And we don't have to do everything that I see here. That's just a general Google News thing. How Russia's salami slicing strategy is testing the West. I was reading about that. I mostly just wanted to see what salami slicing was. And I was pretty much right. Salami slicing refers to a war games tactic of taking a series of gradual steps to achieve strategic goals without provoking a significant counter response. That seems like a good plan, just in general. Do little things to achieve your goals that nobody notices until it's too late. Ha-ha. All right, so watch out for Russia. I don't trust them. Close that one. Suspect in Charlie Kirk killing is in custody, President Trump says. There have since been other sources that say that the suspect is in custody because, I don't know, not the most reliable source when it's the president just on Fox and Friends in the morning. Yeah, we got him. Are you sure? But it seems like yes. Seems like they've captured a 22-year-old from Washington, Utah. There was video. From what I read, it seems as though his father was involved in getting him to turn himself in. There may have been some sort of a preacher involved, whether it's a pastor or a minister or some sort of clergy that apparently had something to do with talking this guy into turning himself in. So it seems that the suspect is in custody. So there's that. California lawmakers passed bill to ban ICE agents from wearing masks. I feel like this ICE story is like massive in California, and we only hear about it because California is kind of loud. But Gavin Newsom is the governor of California, and he said legislation that would ban federal immigration agents from wearing masks while conducting raids throughout the state. That's not a full sentence. California lawmakers on Thursday, they sent Gavin Newsom legislation that would ban federal immigration agents from wearing masks while conducting raids throughout the state, passed by Democrats over Republican objections, would prohibit ski masks, balaclavas, and other face coverings for local and federal law enforcement, as well as officials from other states operating in California. It would also, or another bill would require law enforcement to wear badges or name tags identifying themselves. And that's also on track to advance from the Capitol on Thursday. That doesn't exist. Law enforcement doesn't wear badges. I thought we did that. I thought we already did that. We should do that. Yeah, law enforcement people should wear badges. They should have name tags. They should be identifiable. They probably shouldn't have masks on. That makes sense to me. But again, I don't follow it like the ICE thing. I don't follow it enough because it has zero impact on my life. I live in a house with 4 other people. COVID is having more of an impact on my life right now than ICE. ICE raids. I know it's 2025, but I don't know. All right. T-Pain credits Buffalo with saving his career ahead of Outer Harbor concert. This is interesting. So T-Pain is the auto-tune guy, right? Like he's most known for auto-tune and kind of has a reputation for kind of ruining music to some critics. I wouldn't say I'm a critic, but, there's that sound got annoying, and he was sort of a pioneer of it. I know it goes back to, I think Cher was the first, real use of it in a major pop song. But T-Pain, that sound when people sing. Anyway, T-Pain says that his career, he's about to do a show here October 10th. There's a show at the Outer Harbor. And he recently posted a thing crediting Buffalo with helping revive his career during a 2016 concert at Canalside. I do remember this existing. I didn't go to it. But he said there wouldn't be a TP20 tour without you. So T-Pain's been making music for 20 years. That's the tour. That's the TP20. T is for T. Pain is for pain. 20 is for 20 years. He says, the same way Buffalo showed love to me, I'm going to make sure we show love back. In other words, I'm throwing a party 20 years in the making, and I want to make sure Buffalo pulls up. He said that what happened 9 years ago changed his life. When people found out that I was on the show the day of, they stormed it. I was about to quit music until that happened, and then I told them on stage. So Buffalo has been that spot that kind of made T-Pain keep going with music because of that one thing. So we treated T-Pain like he was Gord Downey for one night, and it worked. The October 10th show is part of his TP20 tour, celebrating 2 decades in the music industry. Resale tickets are currently listed for about $90 on Ticketmaster. He's known for hits like Buy You a Drank and Bartender. Has won 2 Grammys and is widely recognized for pioneering the use of auto-tune in popular music. His acknowledgement of Buffalo highlights the city's role in shaping his career path nearly a decade ago. Well, isn't that nice? It's 11 o'clock, which means Scott Wilson's going to be here in a minute. I'm putting on a song, and then we're going to talk to Scott. It is Writer Radio. It's episode 165.
Let's check in with Writer Radio's senior football correspondent, Scott Wilson.
Whoa. What's happening? There was this feedback thing that was starting to build, and I was afraid it was going to just take over my head, make me explode, but it did not. Scott Wilson's here. It's Writer Radio, episode 165. How are you?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
Good.
How are you?
I'm excited, man. This is an exciting weekend.
It is.
Coming up.
It is.
Here,
What are you excited about? Football?
I'm excited about being up at about 3:30 a.m. to make sure that I'm on time to get to Dick Stadium for that noon kickoff between Kent State and the UB Bulls.
I don't think we give you enough credit for the extra 4 hours of driving that you do on every UB game weekend, because I think it sucks that I have to be on campus at 6, but I live 5 minutes from campus, and you live in Syracuse. So extra credit to Scott Wilson, who is the most dedicated college football analyst in America.
Well, I'm not looking for extra credit. I love the van trips, even without the donuts. I mean, actually, there's usually donuts.
There are.
I mean, that's the thing. It's us getting donuts is not going to be that odd of a thing. It's cramming them into the time limit and only for you.
Yeah.
That is making this a little bit unique. But yeah, I mean, I love the van trips. It's usually just the broadcast crew, maybe a couple of video guys every now and then, and John Fuller, who has his own segment on the pregame. So I mean, I guess he's kind of in that crew as well.
Yeah.
And it turns into, I don't know, we're in the car for about 20 minutes. Everybody kind of gets through the pleasantries, and then it turns into
bashing.
80.
It's usually bashing.
Yeah.
Whoever John Fuller's mad at, we just listen to John.
Yeah, we get through the first 25 minutes of John letting it all out, getting it all out, and then it turns into, hey, you guys, who here can name who scored the most touchdowns in the 1993 NFC Championship game? Go. And then it turns into basically that for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And that is fun. And then we show up at a stadium, and it's like, oh yeah, oh cool, all right, yeah, we get to do this. We do the game. We usually have a lot of success there, so it's good. Then after the game, we get Bellacino's, which is a delicious sandwich place there.
Delicious.
And then for the 3 hours back, it's, hey, you guys, what was the final score of the 1986 NBA Finals, Game 3?
We are terrible.
You think we could name that? Who's the number one? Can you name the number one pick for every year of the 80s? Like, it becomes that, and then every 15 minutes or so, one of us will say, "Oh look, Clemson's up by 7."
Right. Yeah,
cool.
that does describe it.
Right.
That's it. It's very childish. Well, it's very. I would say it's very collegiate. Honestly, we are, in theory, adults. And we act slightly more adult than college students while hanging out in and around college campuses and traveling to and from them. So we get to, it's serious. We're working. We're paying attention. We're doing our research. The broadcasts are always very good. But we're also just kind of hanging out with our friends in a van. So, yeah, I look forward to these trips, too. I love being around the team. I like, obviously going into Minnesota and getting on a plane, and you get off the plane, and there are 5 buses there, and we're going to all these cool places. I like that part. But there's something a little bit more Mac about getting in a van at 6 a.m. with you guys and just quizzing each other on dumb stuff for 6 hours worth of car ride, and then having 5 hours at a football stadium mixed in. There's something nice about it. There's something childish about it, and there's something I never want to give up because I want to say it keeps me young because I feel old, but it does something for me, man. We do something that not a lot of people get to do. And the van trip is a part of it too. So I'm looking forward to it. Aside from the stomach ache, I assume is gonna kick in, but I don't know, man. I'm feeling pretty confident. That said, you wanted to squash my confidence. I sent you. Oh yeah, let me read this text.
I don't want to squash your confidence.
You kind of do.
I just think it's happening again. It's happening again, where everybody else is gassing you up at how easy this is.
Yeah.
And it's not easy at all. It's not easy at all.
No, I don't think it's easy.
Then we're gonna get into the situation in the car, and you're gonna get a couple down and be like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is hard.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with the pistachios.
Well,
especially when I would show people the bag of pistachios, the first thing out of everybody's mouth is, "That's it?"
Right.
Oh, you can do this.
No.
Yeah, no, you can do this easy. And you didn't get a third of the way.
No. But I think it was never like ow, I'm full, I can't do this. That was just, I'm racing against Carl Lewis, and I look up, and he's done, and I'm a third of the way there, and what am I supposed to, keep running? I lost. So, I mean, it was never, I was sick of them by the end of it, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I can't eat another one. It wasn't that. It was, I'm chewing and they're not going down because they're dry as hell, and it was like eating cement. And so it was not like a stomach thing. It was a I can't get it down thing. The Krispy Kreme thing, I don't think there's going to be any problem getting it down. I think the problem is going to, that now it's going to be, ow, this hurts. Like this is about pain. I got a text from my buddy Ben, who sent a picture of two dudes. It says, this is Benson's friend Max and his dad Gary. Max says he can eat 15 Krispy Kremes in 12 minutes. And Max is probably a 15-year-old kid, 16-year-old kid, something like that. Gary lived in North Carolina for a while, is very familiar with the Krispy Kreme, and says he could do upward of 50. And I said 50 sounds really high, but not when compared to other donuts. There's a uniquely swallowable consistency to Krispy Kreme, or at least it seems that way. Gary then responded by saying they practically disintegrate in your mouth. You barely have to chew. It also says Gary is the neighborhood dad most likely to break out the fireworks. He's our favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know what North Carolina has to do with Krispy Kreme, where they invented that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Instill the confidence. Build it up. Because this is going to be going. I have a question for you about it, and
Okay.
that's just it. When we hit the time limit, is that the end, or is this one of those things where you're eating a dozen donuts?
I don't know. This is the kind of stuff. You guys got mad at me when I started asking questions like this last time, because it sounded like I was trying to get out of it. Like, no, you're gonna eat them. Like, okay, I understand that, but what if I don't?
We were trying to keep you positive. You were already preparing. As we were getting closer to P Day, Pistachio Day,
Yeah.
it became like it felt like you were setting up a prenup, where it's like you're just planning to get divorced already. Like,
No.
we're not even there.
No.
We believe in you. You say you can do it, you can do it. So we were trying to keep you positive.
I think part of this is that I didn't say I could do it as much as I said I thought I could do it and I'd like to try it. So, like, I'm in on the experiment as much as everybody else. I'm the least competitive eater you'll ever come across. I'm just curious. So, I don't know, man. I think the rules have to be set up because correctly, I assumed in the moment, we can't just pause and try to figure out what happens now. So we'll use the pistachios as the example, and then we'll figure out what we're doing with the donuts. But in the moment with the pistachios, while my mouth is crammed full of them, and Fuller is timing out 8 minutes while you're timing out 5 minutes, and the bag is still there, and we're still trying to do a show at the same time. Like, I knew that we weren't going to be able to solve it, like pause at the 5-minute mark and go, okay, what happens now? So I want to have the parameters laid out, not unlike any other game. You need to have the rules laid out. You're playing, just think about any time you play like Can Jam now, right? Somebody's got to bust out the rules. Like, I don't remember, if you hit it, does it count as what if it goes, do I get to rebut? Like, all that stuff. You need to know the answers before you go in, and you can't pause a competitive eating contest like you can pause Can Jam to look up a rule.
Right. That's true.
So it's not me saying I'm not going to do it. It's me saying, all right, what happens if this doesn't work? If, it's either A or B. Either we're going to get this done or we're not. All right, if we don't, then what happens? All right, if we don't get that done, then what happens?
So I know that there's been a large groundswell of support for expanding the 8 minutes to 12 minutes, which would make it 1 minute, one donut per minute. And I have been rather vocal in not going along with that.
Sure.
I just want to explain why.
Yeah, okay.
And it's because in the aftermath of the pistachio debacle of 25 in Minneapolis.
The great Minneapolis
we gave
pistachio.
you
Something.
disaster.
I think it was called that. It was not called a disaster. I still have some of those.
we gave you a one-time opportunity to expand the time on the Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah. What did I say?
You know, people in the chat are making comments about, we want you to finish the donuts. The donuts are coming up. We should expand the time to give you the most amount of possibility to have success in the donuts. We posed this to you, and you said, no, I don't think I'm going to need it.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, it was something along those lines. Like, no, I'm still pretty confident I can get the 12 down in the 8.
All right.
Said, okay, all right. So you're sticking with the time. So, yeah. All right.
All right. Yeah, so, I don't remember my answer. I do remember you offering that. I do remember you. That was a whirlwind, man. My head was spinning. There was a lot going on. It was, as they say, nuts. I don't remember my answer. I remember you saying one-time opportunity, and I remember thinking now's not a great time to make this decision. So I don't remember. I don't remember what I actually said. I knew that wasn't the right moment. But whatever. All right, if that's the deal, that's the deal. I mean, do you think the 4 minutes is what's gonna make or break this particular challenge? Because
I if you want my honest answer, I don't think you're getting close. I think that this is going to be around your 5th one. It's going to get hard. It's going to get real hard.
Yeah.
It's going to start to feel like you're chewing cement. I think this is hard. This is a hard thing.
Is it really? See,
because people don't just go to the they don't just show up at a bakery and say, give me a dozen. I got to take these down in 12 minutes.
I know that.
Like, it's not done.
But
this isn't done by anybody.
So let me explain to you.
Incredibly hard thing.
Let me explain to you how Krispy Kreme and pistachios wound up being the ones that I was drawn to, and it's very similar. The pistachio one. And this is well documented at this point, and I'm sorry to dwell on it. For those of you who have actually listened to 165 episodes of this, you might be sick of the pistachios. I'm not. I'm not sick of talking about them, so I'm just throwing this back in there.
Well, you're not sick of pistachios because you didn't even eat the 338.
Right. Yeah. I get it. I saw that one coming. The pistachios is that when you were talking about the record, my point, because I love pistachios, and I will snack on them regularly. But they take a while. It's a process. It's a thing that you do. And to hear that somebody ripped through 338 pistachios in, 5 minutes, 8 minutes? I don't remember now. It doesn't matter. 338 pistachios. I said the more impressive thing there is being able to open all of them. That would take a long time. And that led to me, this perception that I was claiming it would be easy to eat, and it was a relative term. The harder part is opening that many in that amount of time. Here's what I would say. If you gave me 8 minutes, you gave me 2 piles of 338 pistachios, and you gave me 8 minutes on each one of them. One of them I had to just open, and one of them I had to just eat. I've got 338 shelled pistachios over here and 338 unshelled over here, and I have to just shell them and not eat them on that side, or just eat them on the left. I think I would consume more in that amount of time eating them than I would just opening them. So that was the overall premise. I never quite laid it out like that because that's boring.
Hold on. Let me write this down.
You don't need to. You don't need to write it.
A couple weeks. Where are we going? Is it early October?
Yeah, we're going somewhere else. UMass?
Yeah, we're going somewhere early October.
UMass?
All right. So 2 piles, 1 shelled. I just want to make sure I got this right. Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand the point I'm making?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, so that was the point there. And then the thing that has always struck me about Krispy Kreme, and now this is kind of reverse engineering the whole thing, but when Krispy Kreme came to Buffalo, and by the way, it was invented in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, so that was the North Carolina connection to our man Gary, who says he could put down 50 of them. I believe in Gary. Gary looks a little crazy, though, from his picture, too. And he's the fireworks guy in the neighborhood, so we'll see. But the thing that struck me about Krispy Kreme from the time I first had them is how having a Krispy Kreme donut isn't enough because it's gone right away. It's almost like cotton candy where it just dissolves in your mouth. And I remember thinking one is not enough because the experience, it's delicious, but the experience doesn't last long enough. So clearly you need a second one. But that one vanishes too. I don't know that I've ever gone beyond 3 in a day. So going to 12 in 8 minutes is a lot, but it's all based on the premise that the texture of it is so susceptible to saliva and dissolution that I think that simplifies it. I've accidentally eaten Krispy Kreme donuts too quickly before. So now my thought is I could eat them too quickly for a while. The other thing, too, is if you go fast enough, you can beat the pain. You can get there. Like, you ever go to like an all-you-can-eat spaghetti place and no one needs a second plate of spaghetti? But, you know, you paid for all you can eat. So you order a second plate of spaghetti. But it had better arrive quickly, because if it doesn't arrive immediately, you don't want a second plate of spaghetti at all. You need it right then. Like, I just finished. I could keep going right now. But if I sit for 4 minutes, there's going to be a rock in my stomach and I can't proceed. And that's typically what happens. And I think you can get ahead of that just by pace. It's about pace. Just say nice and fast with the Krispy Kreme and get it all in before it hurts. That's my strategy. What do you think?
I think you're in trouble. I think this is gonna be great. I think it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be great.
All right, time to read the chat.
Time
to read the chat.
It's gonna be a moment of in America. You know what? I'm just gonna be blunt. I don't want to get into the politics of it all. America needs this right now at this time.
I can see that.
We need this.
Yeah.
We need Brad eating donuts in a van.
All right, so
bring us back together. We got to come back together.
I'm gonna
Brad in a van
going to Dick's Stadium to play Kent.
Going to Kent State. My God, this is it.
There's a vote for 12 minutes with 3 exclamation points. Just throwing it out there. I don't know that I want the 12 minutes because I think I'd rather have my life.
Do a dual timing thing like we did last time.
I don't think we should.
We could do that.
No, I want to know what's happening as I'm approaching the cutoff. Like if I'm at, I don't feel like I'm going to get a ton of credit if I consume 12 in 12. I don't think like you're not going to count that, right? So why am I continuing beyond the 8 minutes if you're not going to give me the full credit? You know what I mean? Like if you don't approve of it, I get that there's some.
I did pitch a counter to you earlier this week, which was I'll give you the extra 4 minutes if when you start to eat donut number 7, you have to watch 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not. No, I've avoided that my whole life. I'm gonna stay away from it.
We could throw that in there just as an extra little obstacle, but you get your 4 minutes.
No,
once you hit donut 7.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Boom,
no.
Boom. It's coming in.
No.
It's coming in for an extra obstacle.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. All right, I'm gonna read you.
Nobody wants any of this, but
it seems like some people want it. I'm gonna read you.
Right, it's an offer.
I'm gonna read you what's in the chat. All right, I'll pass. I decline your offer. I'll read you.
Well, don't say that yet. We'll see.
Still plenty of time to think about this. All right, so 12-minute request. Next one says, make this right with the last donut. Listen to this. Krispy Kreme offers a limited edition pistachio overload donut, a collaboration with Pistachio Poppy, which features pistachio mousse, pistachio spread, candied pistachios, and a white chocolate drizzle. The donut is a popular item and reportedly sells out quickly. I'd much rather have one of those than a dozen of these other things, but that's not what we're doing today. That's not what this trip's about. It's not why we lift all those weights.
I love that idea.
Sounds good. It says, okay, I think the time should be whatever Scott wants to determine, but I then say the secondary thing needs to be you have to finish them within a half hour or something. No failure of consumption will be tolerated. I don't think there can be a secondary thing. This is kind of what I'm saying. Like we can do one way or the other. One way is how many can you eat in 8 minutes? The other is how long does it take you to eat 12? If we want to do how long does it take you to eat 12, we can do that. But then the 8-minute thing goes away. I mean, it's still there. We still know about it. But here's the thing. I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to do this for you people, for you, Scott, for the listeners. I'm all right
for
with
America.
For America, for the healing. I'm into it. But I need a reasonable, there needs to be a finish line. There has to be a finish line in place. So either it's 8 minutes, or it's a dozen donuts, or it's 12 minutes, or it's 5 minutes, whatever it is. There has to be a finish line because strategies can change very quickly when you're in a competitive spot like I'm going to be while hurtling down the thruway on our way to Dick Stadium.
How many Krispy Kremes? How many Krispy Kremes do you think you fit in your mouth at once? You get 4 in there?
No.
No?
No, I think 1.33. I think it's
This, by the way, this is the van drive. What's happened the last 15 minutes is basically the van drive with occasional trivia.
yes. Yeah, no, I know. No, this is not that much different. This is what it's like. I think I fit. I think the plan is to have like 1 1/3 going at the same time. So like when I'm down to 1/3 of this one's left, because it's going to dissolve, especially if we get them warm, which we're hoping for. I mean, it's going to dissolve immediately. That Krispy Kreme donut can be crushed into a like donut hole sized thing immediately, and then probably 3 chews and swallowed. But as like that last bit of it is in there, I think we're moving on to the next one. So I think there's always, it's like you're chain smoking cigarettes. There's always the previous one's still lit when you fire up the new one, and then you fire up the new one off the previous lit one. So I think it's going to be kind of like that.
The only thing I would really add to this would be some type of sugar test before we leave the parking lot in Buffalo, and then another sugar test like right before. You know what I mean? Like one of those prick your finger diabetes things.
Yeah.
Maybe like an hour and a half after the competition, something like that. Just so we can really see what's going on.
Don't you feel like that's just going to give us evidence that I need to go to a hospital?
Yeah, I think that's bad.
Yeah,
maybe we shouldn't do that.
No, let's ignore our problems.
Hey guys, Brad's sugar is what is this? 3,000? Is that good or bad?
I just got to hydrate. You got to keep it hydrated. You got to keep it going. You got to keep it. Yeah, you got to keep it healthy. All right. So we're going to have to firmly establish, because this is worth debating. Like, I like the idea that somebody wrote in. Brian Janik wrote in, and he's our sponsor, so we have to listen to him. I like the idea of how long it takes to eat a dozen. But that's not what the challenge was, but it kind of is.
Well, if we're going to do that, then we can't go live. Because then that turns into, that could be 2 hours.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Are you planning on live?
That's a recorded bit. Are you? I thought that, are we not going live? We're just recording?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know yet. We got, it's a little over an hour just to get to Erie. So we're in the van at 6. We're headed there. We'll see what kind of setup we've got. Are we in a van? Are we in an SUV? It might be an SUV. Is there room for me to set up like if we have a van and I'm in the back and I can set up my whole little broadcast thing just sitting there, then we can go live. I don't mind that. Or maybe we should use something different. Maybe we should do like a Facebook Live or something. I don't want video though. It's so gross watching people eat like that.
Love to have video of this.
No, it's gross.
I'd love to video you doing this.
No, I don't even like watching. Really I don't like watching other people eat, let alone watching me eat like a glutton. Like it sounds so disgusting. I'm doing this out of like shame, and I don't. No, not video.
There's no shame involved with this. There's no shame. There's only glory.
All right. There's only glory. It says right here. Dave and I talked about this last night. We both feel you can eat a dozen. Thanks, guys. You said live like a dozen times already. You got to go live. I don't gotta anything, Arbo. We're trying to figure out what the best way to do this is, and I will not be bullied into it by people telling me, "Oh, you said this. You're gonna." No, I don't. I say a lot of things. And then we're gonna do what works. So, I don't know what the rules are. I don't know if it's live or just recorded. I know that it's not a great idea to do it 4 hours before a football game, but we're gonna. How about if what?
If we start, I could always give you that option again for the extra 4 minutes.
Is this 2 girls, 1 cup again?
2 girls, 1 cup.
I'm not doing that.
After donut 7, and then I listen, that's just an open offer.
Thanks.
Just consider that an open offer right up until you get to minute number 8.
Load that up on your tablet and have it ready to go in case we need it.
I hope that we get one of those vans with the cool like videos in the headrests. I'll just put it on there for you. or one of those pop down screens like in the middle.
All right.
Yeah,
Look,
that's good.
everyone
You and Paul
who's
can
in
take
the
that in.
everyone who's in the chat, but Brad is so scared of the camera. I'm not scared of the camera. I'm better when you're hearing me than I am when you're looking at me. I don't even like looking at myself. Why would I want you to look at me? During COVID, I'd eat 6 Boston creams from Walmart, so I think you'll be fine. 6. Boston cream's so good.
Good.
We got a Bill O'Reilly yelling "Do it live" in the chat. 3-to-1 ratio, Boston to glazed. Also agree with live. All right, the live thing is not a debate for the chat. You're willing. You're certainly welcome to your opinion and to jump in with it. I don't
They're
know.
highly invested.
Yeah, they're highly invested, but I live either is going to work or it's not going to work. Like, yeah, I'm thinking about maybe doing it live, but I don't know what the setup's going to be. I don't know what the internet connection is going to be. I don't know how well it's going to work. So we're going to do the thing. I'm going to eat the donuts. We have not established the rules. Those of you listening, writing in, you can contribute to the rules part of it if you'd like. Ultimately, this decision will be made between Scott and myself, mostly leaning on Scott because he's the executioner of this whole thing. Like he's in.
I'm gonna wear a black hood in that van tomorrow.
Yeah, he's in charge of that part of it. But as far as like the technology, it's a matter of what can we do. Like, do I need to bring? Like, you can't bully me into bringing a whole suitcase full of equipment just to live stream myself throwing up donuts in a van. Like, you can't force me to do that. But I do have. There are lots of options. Like, I've got microphone. We just record with the phone, and it'll. Honestly, just recording with a phone would sound as good as the pistachio one did with the mics all over the room, I would think, in the van. Or maybe we just have one mic that gets passed around. That's probably right. But it's probably easier to just do with the phone rather than set up this other thing that has to be plugged in. So, like, as far as if it's live or not live, that's TBD. We will have live audio of it. It will exist, but it will be like live to tape. Most things that you watch on television that you think of as live or not live, right? So even when you're watching the TV news, yeah, the woman in the chair who throws it to the story, that's live, and they go to the guy who's standing outside the courthouse, and that's live, but then it cuts to footage that was already recorded, and you don't think, oh, this sucks, this was recorded already. It's the first time you're seeing it. So it will be recorded as if live. I just don't know that it will stream live in the moment, and then we're going to have to hold back on revealing anything for a couple days, Scott. If we do this Saturday morning and then we don't use the audio until Monday, we're just going to have to not talk about it. Just go silent on it. Can you be trusted? Sign an NDA or something?
Can I be trusted?
Can you be trusted? That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Are you your brother's keeper?
Yeah. I think I can deal with that. Yeah. I mean, listen, if it's not live and people tune into it, it might be the most listened to UB pregame show ever at 11 a.m.
That's a good point.
Because if you're not there,
oh yeah,
but it's on, people will know that carnage has happened.
That's a great point.
That there has been a casualty, and they will know that the reason is them donuts.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Brad's not on the pregame. Oh man, donuts got him.
Does the Erie Krispy Kreme know we're coming?
I don't know, but they should be ready.
Can you place an
Are we
order
sure that
online?
It's still open and ready and.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna look that up right now.
So the whole thing could be for naught.
Well, no, I know that.
Let's make sure that we can get donuts first. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we can. It's on Peach Street, Erie, PA. Krispy Kreme.
When do they open?
They're open right now. They close at They close at 8:45 p.m. They open at 6.
Oh, all right. Okay, good. Well, good. It's almost time to make donuts.
Yeah, as long as we're right. Yeah, Peach Street Marketplace, 7501 Peach. We can get there from my house right now in an hour 38. So if we leave at 6, we're approaching there about quarter to 8 is about the time that we'll be able to stop in there. So you can order pickup.
Pick up Paul.
Yeah, you can order pickup.
Yeah,
it's ready in 10 minutes. We'll keep that in mind. So we'll be able to order in advance. I want them warm. I want the hot light. The heat is a part of this. I got to think about beverage too. What would you
Yeah,
drink? See, it's not going to be coffee. It's probably just water.
What?
Probably just go water.
Goldschlager.
Probably not Goldschlager.
Rumpelmans.
Just any tequila would be perfect too.
Malibu coconut rum.
Oh, that actually
straight from the bottle.
that's not terrible. Or that stuff that we got in the Bahamas, that was good.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
all right, Krispy Kreme exists.
I would
It
think
is on
water is probably
Peachtree.
going to be your best bet.
Yeah, probably water. Because I mean, when we get Paula's donuts around here, that's a milk day for me. I don't drink a lot of milk, but I will go milk with Paula's donuts. But that's different. Paula's donuts,
Oh my God.
like
Who
I
wants
wouldn't
go
try
milk?
to eating 2 Paula's donuts is crippling.
Oh my God! If you have milk with this challenge, you are up chucking.
Yeah, no, milk's a
Like,
terrible.
That thing is coming.
No, milk's a terrible idea. It's a
Yeah.
bad choice.
Bad choice.
Yeah. So not that, but I do think that would be I guess just water. I'll be prepared with water. Napkins. Like, am I sitting in the front? I hope it's a van and we're in the back, but I have heard rumors that it might be an SUV. So that's going to cripple the broadcast part of it. And
No, it'd be fine.
no,
John and I are up front, and then you guys are in that second row.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll sit behind you. You can move forward a little. All right.
Well, that's not happening.
No, that has to. I need space. Maybe we should just do it in the parking
No
lot.
space.
Maybe we should do it in the parking lot at Krispy Kreme.
It's got to be on the move. It's got to be on the move.
Hmm.
We have to be in a moving vehicle.
Okay.
Well, I guess we could do it in the parking lot. It's 8 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Well, just think about it.
All right.
Is there anything else you'd like to do today? Because we've been dwelling on donuts, and there's a lot to get to in the world.
Yeah. A couple of other quick side stories in the sports world that I thought were interesting. I will throw in here. The NBA has made a subtle rule change. Not sure if you saw it.
Nope.
But with so much of the contracts now being like performance based and bonuses and things like that, a common thing that has been put into the contracts and the bonuses is field goal shooting percentage. Well, as a result of that, the last couple of years, you've seen a lot less of players trying to take half court or longer shots at the end of quarters, which is always fun and seems to be overall fairly harmless fun, except for they stop doing it because that's going to count as a shot and it's going to ruin their field goal percentage. Well, the NBA has decided to make a rule change that 3 seconds or less in the first 3 quarters from 36 feet or beyond will count as a team shot, but will not be counted as an individual shot, so that we can bring those shots back, because that's a fun part of basketball.
Okay. That's a good adaptation, because you're not going to undo the whole contract part of it. So how do we motivate people to shoot? Tell them that this one doesn't count. I like that.
Right. It will still,
Smart.
as far as what I read, it'll still count in the fourth quarter, because under 3 seconds, fourth quarter, you're
trying to win
shot.
a game. Yeah.
You're trying to win a game, not just throwing 3 more points up on the board. So hopefully we will see more. And really the last couple of years, what it's turned into is they'll pass it to the center or a power forward who doesn't take 3-pointers and doesn't care to launch 3-pointers and just kind of hurl the ball down the court. So we'll see guys like
Unintended consequences.
we'll see guys that actually can make shots from long distance try to take some heaves and try to throw up some things. And I like the fact that the NBA finally took a look at it and said, this is, in all honesty, it's a silly rule.
Yeah.
But
it makes sense.
It's still a fun part of the game.
Right. No, I like it.
Because
I like it.
6% of the times it'll go in.
Yeah, I don't like
And then
that we had to do it, but we
celebrates.
had to do it, so we did it. And that, honestly, that might be my favorite thing about the NBA is they are the quickest to adapt to, like, wait, this isn't going exactly the way that we want it to go. What do we do to fix it? And they're good at that. And the NFL has gotten better at it. The NHL has always been terrible at it. But the NFL has gotten better, especially like with the kickoff stuff. Like, they're tweaking it, and I've decided to not know what the rules are for NFL kickoffs right now? Because I don't care. Just tell me what happened. I'll just be ignorant. I don't want to ever have to think about it. And it didn't land in the zone, and now you got to go to just whatever. Get it so that there are some kick returns sometimes. You've adjusted for safety. I'm already over the part that they're lined up differently than what I've been used to my whole life. The only problem to me is I miss the surprise onside kick opportunity. So that's the only thing that's missing there. But I think they've adjusted it pretty well, and it went well in week 1. So I don't know. I like leagues that are thinking, look, times are changing. We're watching the games differently. The contracts are different. All the different factors. You got to adapt. So I like that they're doing that. I like baseball notoriously has not adapted. Pitch clock is the best thing that's happened to the game in the last 20 years, I bet. Like little stuff like that, tweaking it to make the game. You're in competition with everything else that exists in the world. So you got to make your game better. So don't take away the fun stuff like 3/4 court shots. I like it.
Right. Second thing is something that affected me personally here this week. My son's a big soccer fan. I like soccer. The World Cup is coming to the U.S. in 2026. I have signed up with FIFA so that they will notify me when tickets go on sale.
Okay.
Because I'm not looking to go to the World Cup final. I'd like to go to a World Cup game so that I can say I went to a World Cup game.
Makes sense.
Yeah. There are games being played in New York, Boston, Philadelphia, Toronto. So there's Northeast opportunities. So I received an email the other day. I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday. And it said, hey, Visa presale. You got a Visa card. You can get in on this. This is the first opportunity for 2026 World Cup tickets. Okay. All right. Sure. Yeah, I'm in. Follow the links, go in there, and I find out that the Visa presale is not a Visa presale. What it is if you have a Visa card, you're eligible to get in on a pre-lottery.
Okay.
Right. So I signed up not for tickets, not for the right to buy tickets, for the possibility of the right to buy tickets.
It's pretty great. Congratulations.
And it didn't really kind of lay everything out until the end. And I'm filling out all the paperwork, going through all the forms online, finally get to the end. And then it's like, by the way, you may not get selected. Okay, fine. This is a lottery. If you are selected, we'll let you know. You're then given a time and a date where you can first log in to buy tickets. And by the way, it's first come, first serve. You might not be able to buy tickets.
Right. So it's nothing.
Right.
Yeah. Presale is a word
nothing.
that doesn't mean anything. I don't know when we started accepting that presale is a thing. But when presale is run by the credit card company or run by Ticketmaster, that's not a presale. That's just them selling the tickets. So all they're doing is locking you in and making you more interested in advance of when they're going to try to sell you tickets that they're not going to need you for anyway because enough people are going to buy them. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. But you didn't pay anything, right?
No, there was no payment. But that's another part of it is FIFA also announced that for the first time ever, now that it's in the United States, they are going to dynamic pricing for the games.
Oh, of course.
Didn't happen in South Africa or Qatar or Russia or Germany or anywhere else that they hold this thing. Brazil? No. But now that it's coming to America and it's going to be within 3 hours of me, they're going to introduce dynamic pricing.
Wow.
Which means if I sign up and I try to get tickets to a, what is labeled game 14 in Philadelphia, the tickets for that are going to cost more if when they do the random draw of the ping pong balls to see who is in what group, that game ends up being Germany versus the Netherlands. It's going to be a different price than if I end up seeing the Congo versus Peru. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan. I like the World Cup. I like soccer. I'm fine with going to Congo, Peru.
Yeah, that's what I would go to for sure.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But it's very irritating. They also did the dynamic pricing thing for the Club World Cup, which was just here this past summer, and it turned out to be a disaster because if they just used regular pricing, all these other games would have been sold out.
Yeah, the market will sort itself.
Right. Instead, it ended up being a big mess, and they had less attendance for some of these games that they should have been easily able to fill out a stadium for. So,
So the expensive games didn't sell, is what you're saying, and the cheap ones did?
Right. Right.
So now people are choosing to go to the Congo game instead of the Netherlands game or whatever.
Right.
Which I would do, because that's
how
how much I like soccer. I like soccer enough that I would want to check off a box in the same way I'd like to go to a NASCAR race. I don't care which NASCAR race it is. I just would like to say I went to one. So I don't care who's playing. I mean, obviously, a USA game would be a thing above everything else. But as far as just like two other countries, I don't care what the countries are. Does it count? Is it really on the schedule? It's really a World Cup game. That one's good enough for me. So I'd take the cheapest one, and I would be part of the problem with dynamic pricing.
So another complaint that I have about this is if you host the World Cup, which is a joint thing, Canada's going to host some games, Mexico's going to host some games. So all three of those countries are automatically in to the World Cup. If you host the World Cup, you get in for free. You don't have to qualify.
Okay.
And then you are also put into a group. Usually there's just one host, so the group is, the Group A, and they're the first game of the tournament. In this case, because there's three hosts, the first three groups will each have one of those teams in it, so that they don't have to play each other.
Right.
Yada yada yada. The U.S. is in a group where all three of their group games will all be on the West Coast.
Oh, that's stupid.
It will be 2 in L.A., 1 in Seattle. So I find that to be tremendously dumb, but that's the case. So if where the people live on the East Coast want to see that team, not happening. You're going to have to pay for a flight, a hotel, and the ticket price to go out all the way out west to do it. So good luck with that. So that's why I think, listen, I'm hoping ideally to get a ticket to go to New York or Philadelphia. And I don't really care who's playing. And if it just so happens that the ping pong balls fall and I end up with a good team, then I'm fine with that. And if I end up with,
Congo
bad teams, right? If I end up with Congo, Peru, I'm fine with that as well. So, but the pricing format is different. It's going to be a mess. I can already see it now. It's going to be a mess.
It sounds like a mess.
And I had to sign up for the right to sign up for the possibility
to maybe get in line.
Tickets,
yeah.
To maybe get in line to possibly get tickets.
It's like every game's a Taylor Swift show.
Right. I thought that we should be better than this as a country.
I think so.
I think it's one of the number one issues facing our nation.
Well, what we have to do is solve it by eating donuts in a van. And I think, it's the little things. They'll add up. We just got to turn the ship around. We'll steer it in the right direction.
Let me give you my lock of the week here.
Oh, yeah, good.
All right, here we go. College football. I love Bob's pick of UConn. Was it UConn favored by 10?
Yep.
Really like that pick. I'm going in a very similar vein as him. He went with UConn facing Delaware. Delaware making their first step up to FBS. Well, so is Missouri State. They are also making the transition from FCS up to FBS. Well, last week, Missouri State beat Marshall 21-20. And good for them. That was a surprising win, except for if you don't actually know what has been happening at Marshall, then you would say, wow, look at that. Marshall had like everybody on their team leave after they didn't renew the contract of the coach that had won a ton of games there. And they all transferred with him down to Southern Miss. So they had to replace 75% of their team. And it's kind of been a mess, and it's been sloppy, and it's not the same team that has been winning games and going to bowls the last couple of seasons where you would think, wow, to get a win over a Marshall program, that's a massive win. Well, really, they're in full rebuild mode there in West Virginia, and that win, while impressive, because it's their first year up at FBS, 21-20, had to squeak it out, barely got there. Well, this week they're hosting SMU, who was in the college football playoff last year. And SMU is coming off of a loss at the buzzer by 3 to Baylor. I think SMU is really good. And I think they're going to be real angry. And this is the same type of thing last week. Missouri State is an FCS team still. And they were able to luck out to barely squeak one out against a rebuilding FBS team last week. I think that they're being friendly with this number. I'm taking SMU 27.5.
All right. Big numbers. You like laying big points.
At Missouri State. Well, early season, you're going to get a lot of this.
I know.
You got to wade through this.
That's
so
what we're doing.
SMU 27.5 at Missouri State. Sure, it's a home game. It's their first home game, and they've got a big opponent in there. They're going to have a nice crowd. They're going to be all fired up. But when the rubber meets the road, I think the Ponies are going to go in there and take care of business and make a statement after they were surprised last week by Baylor at the buzzer.
All right. I like it. SMU minus 27.5. Bobby had UConn. I want to say it was minus 9.5.
Might have been 9.5 or 10, whatever you can.
9.5. It was 9.5 over Delaware. So, all right, those are our picks. Those are the locks of the week. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I will see you in the van or the truck, whatever we're in, and then we'll go to Erie and we'll get it on.
All right, let's get it on. Let's get these donuts going.
Let's go. All right. There's Scott Wilson. He's our senior football correspondent, also our senior Hallmark correspondent. No Hallmark content today, but we'll do that again. All right, we're trying something new here, and this is a trivia game that's working in conjunction with the show. What I did was I put a thing online and made it available to you. It's pretty basic. This is not the trivia part. Will be better. It'll be more topical. It'll be more about the show. It'll be more about Buffalo. It'll be whatever. I just used a quiz that existed. I didn't write the questions this time. But the idea is the show starts, and I say, hey, yeah, go online right now. There's a quiz you can take, and you go in, you log in, so you can use the same name repeatedly, not your real name, just a nickname, and then the quiz is live. You get to take it while the show is going on. And then I shut it down at like 11:45. And then we go through the answers together. And then we'll have standing. So let me see. This is an experiment because I think this is something we can do on a regular basis, but have not done yet. And I just want to get the thing built. Right. Okay. This says we've got 9 people who are in, including me and ER Mom who had 0. But we got 9 people log in to do it. Our winner had 560 points. That's Pavel. Pavel is our winner with 38 points. And we're going to go over what was asked and the correct answers. Question number 1. Who had a worldwide hit in 1990 with Nothing Compares to You, which was originally written by Prince in 1984? The correct answer there was C, Sinead O'Connor. No. Yeah, that's the correct answer. Question number 2, written by Dolly Parton and made into a smash hit by Whitney Houston. This song was famously featured in what 1992 film? And there's a picture of Whitney Houston. It's a video, actually, a YouTube video of Whitney Houston singing I Will Always Love You. What movie did that come from? The answer was D, The Bodyguard. There's 2 out of 10. Which legendary country singer created a stripped-down cover of the Nine Inch Nails song Hurt in 2002? That was Johnny Cash. Question number 4. Ike and Tina Turner won a Grammy in 1972 with a cover of what Creedence Clearwater CCR single? And the answer is Proud Mary. Question 5. Who wrote Me and Bobby McGee, which was posthumously released by Janis Joplin in 1971? Isn't that weird to know? That she was dead before any of us ever heard her sing that? Chris Christopherson wrote it. The answer was B. That was question number 5. Number 6. Which girl group sizzled on the charts with a cover of Simon & Garfunkel's Hazy Shade of Winter? The answer there was the Bengals. Which of these artists did not release a cover version of Leonard Cohen's soulful Hallelujah? I hate that song. The answers given were Jeff Buckley. That's the one I hate the most. John Cale, C-A-L-E, and Rufus Wainwright. And the correct answer was A, Beck. Beck didn't do that. Beck's better than that. Beck's so much better than that song. Which American heavy metal band covered Simon and Garfunkel's The Sound of Silence and reached high positions on several Billboard charts? The correct answer was Disturbed. If they put Stained up there, I might have gotten it wrong. But it wasn't Iron Maiden, it wasn't Metallica, and it wasn't Slayer. All right, question number 9. What band released Live and Let Die in 1973, later covered by Guns N' Roses on their Use Your Illusion double album? The answer is Wings, Paul McCartney and Wings. And then the 10th question, which British concept album featured the song With a Little Help from My Friends, later famously covered by Joe Cocker? And the answer there was A, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So those are the questions. The thing worked. I was able to set up a quiz, launch it as the show began, shut it down near the end of the show, have rankings here. So Pavel was first, Mike Bush 89 second, J-Man third, Trin's manager fourth, Brian fifth, Nardak sixth, Triple J seventh, and then I was in there as Brad. I only had 38 points because I was just trying to make sure it worked. And ER Mom got in but did not actually take the quiz. So that's where we are. Winner would be Pavel. Now, in a perfect world, that is a quiz. Like, for example, how about a quiz on Monday about the NFL action from the day before? And it's all rapid fire like that. And it's sponsored by somebody. At the end of the show, you hear the answers, and everybody's a winner. You don't have to play along online. You can just listen. You can do what we just did at the end. Because I have found trivia on the radio, we don't even need contestants. You need a question, then you need some time to think, then you need the answer revealed. So we can do all of this. We can have the contest, but for those who don't want to be in the contest, you can just listen at the end. I don't know if this is a daily thing, a weekly thing, a once-in-a-while thing, but it worked kind of. So that's good. All right, I'm done for today. I'll be back tomorrow on the pregame show for UB. Want to let you know there's also another podcast you can listen to. UB Bulls Insider is what it's called. Our thing within it is the UB Football Podcast Scott and I recorded yesterday. That probably went up this morning. I haven't checked, but that exists. That's a separate feed from this. And the Writer Radio thing continues on Monday, thanks in part to our fantastic sponsor, Brian Janik of thefinancialguys.com. 20-plus years in the business of independent insurance broker, helping you navigate the world of Medicare and other things. You get in touch with him. You don't pay him. He gets paid by insurance companies. So it's a no-brainer to get in touch. Go to thefinancialguys.com to get in touch with Brian. Anyone else who's interested in being a sponsor of the show, has other ideas about things to do with the show as we move forward and turn this from just a quirky little 2-hour thing into a legit business, feel free to be a part. Reach out, find me, get in touch. There's a lot of good ways to get to me. At Brad Ryder on X, writerradio.com. I think I have contact info on there. I'm not positive. We've got that phone line, 288-5246, 716-288-5246 for call or text. We're building a thing. It's working. We just added a trivia thing. That was a test run, but I think it worked. It wasn't super exciting. Trivia is usually more exciting when I write it and it's relevant to what's going on. Like right now, that was just sort of a random quiz as a test. All right, I'm going to stop explaining myself. I'm going to play a couple songs, and I'm going to do some paperwork and get myself ready to go to Kent, Ohio for the UB Bulls game. Kickoff at noon, pregame at 11 on the Bet 1520. And in order to preview the game, if you want to get ready for the game before the pregame show, that podcast that Scott and I recorded should be available at the on the UB Bulls Insider feed, wherever finer podcasts are available. Go find that, download it, check it out. It's like half an hour of Scott and I reviewing the St. Francis game a little bit, and then previewing what's happening tomorrow at Kent State. Bulls look for their first MAC win, look to go to 2-1. Can't wait. I'll be there. And on the way, I'm going to attempt to eat a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts in 8 minutes, and we're going to either record it or stream it live. You'll either get it. It'll be like a pop-up. If you're I don't know if you call it a member or what with this MixLR app, but if I say I'm going live, like I'm subscribed to myself, If I say I'm going live, I get a notification on my phone. It's like, yo, he's going live. So if you get a yo, he's going live at like 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, that's going to be a gross donut fest live from the Thruway. If you don't, we're recording it anyway, and you'll get it on Monday or as a separate podcast. Or I don't know, but it's all happening. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for being part of it. Thanks for trying the trivia thing. Get used to that. Trivia thing is going to be a thing. I don't know how often, but it's going to be a thing. There's one thing I like. I like music. I like sports. I like trivia. I like entertainment. I like fun. So if I just combine them all into a 2-hour package, you guys are coming along with me, right? Just keep adding sponsors. Keep adding people. Keep putting it out as podcasts. Keep doing a live stream. Keep saying yes to food challenges. That one, I don't know about that one. All right. Thanks for listening to Writer Radio, episode 165. I'll talk to you tomorrow from UB, or from Kent, and I'll talk to you Monday on Writer Radio.
What are you doing for lunch?
I don't know. I have a turkey sandwich.
We're gonna go around the corner. I think you should come with us. This is a great place.
I don't know. Okay.
We brought you a shirt.
Will you get out of here? Will you get out of here? Will you? Now, will you go to lunch? Go to lunch. Will you go to lunch?